The Devils have a major problem. Going from one of your strongest situations to one of your weakest is not ideal. A sense of urgency to fix that has to be there. Welcome in to Devil's Digest. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Look, since Jack Hughes has gone down, the center ice position has been an issue in New Jersey, and it didn't get any easier today. Cody Glass didn't make the trip to Chicago. He's not going to play tonight. Chance he comes by later on, but out of the game tonight. That was my pick for the second line center. Because, it's not like goaltending. It's not where, you have a starter. That's your guy. That's the guy you paid. That's the guy who had the stats, the resume going into it. I don't like the back and forth where, one guy's starting to get a little bit hotter, one guy's maybe struggling, and all of a sudden, there's, a new goaltender. I'm not a fan of that. It's a very mental position. I don't like going back and forth. As for a center, though, there's 4 spots in the lineup. If you got to move guys up and down the lineup, not as big of a deal. This would have been my pick for the second line center, and it's basically his job to lose. Well, when a player goes down, all of a sudden, it's another guy's job to take. Looking at the Devils center so far this season, outside of Nico Hischier and obviously Jack Hughes, not another center's hit 30 points. It's been a struggle for the Devils getting scoring down the middle, getting play down the middle, creating offense down the middle. They just haven't done it this season. Now, when you look at the players in the lineup, and now excluding Glass because he's not going to play tonight, who do you go to? I think it has to be Dawson Mercer. You look at the lineup, none of these other centers really have been put into a second-line center position and have put up second-line center numbers throughout their career. Erik Haula had a few good years, never really was a second-line center. When you look down this group, it has to be Dawson Mercer. He's the one you want to be your second-line center. Like, I know I said Cody Glass should go out and take it. That's because you're in this situation where you really do have to go with who's playing better right now. And right now, Cody Glass is playing better. Who did you want to be your second-line center when Jack Hughes went down? It was definitely Dawson Mercer. Dawson Mercer's the one with the resume. Dawson Mercer's the one you just paid. I think we all can remember that. Rumors that he might not be on be playing opening night. Rumors that he's holding out or he was holding out. We all remember this contract saga during the offseason. And part of that was because of the year he had last season. He had a down year. I guess a junior slump. I don't really think that's a thing, but I just said it. When you look at Dawson Mercer and the type of production he had and the type of how he came into the NHL, he's a 20th overall pick, the second draft pick the Devils had in that 2020 NHL draft, and he took it and ran with it. He was on the lineup just a year later. He had a 40-point season, then a 50-point season. Go ahead, look at the numbers. To start his career with the Devils, he was very, very good. He was impactful. You could see on the ice. Look, Dawson Mercer is a skilled player. He's capable of putting up 50 points. He did it at 20 years old. I don't think he just left him and then he's not the skilled player anymore. He's still that type of player. He's never had a big injury. He's actually played every single game that he's been able to play since he's caught in the Devils. He's never been a healthy scratch. He's never been injured. So I don't think this is so much a thing where he just lost it, where he's just not going to be that player again. He's just not going to be that 50-point player. I still think there's skill there. There's obviously a skill there. I still think he can get back to being that 50-point player, that second-line center that they need right now. Because you look down the rest of the lineup, not another center has 30 points. It's Nico Hischier, and that's it. That's not really something where it's a really good recipe to win in the playoffs. Dawson Mercer has to be that guy. I mean, you can look at his season this year. 15 goals, 14 points, 15 goals, 14 assists, 29 points, 72 games. It's not been the year he's wanted. It's not been the year the team's wanted. But that can get all thrown away if in these final 10 games, he plays well, he fits a second-line center role, he contributes, and he's good in the playoffs. I mean, you go ahead and look at his playoff numbers. He was pretty good on that run. We looked at it. Nico Hischier might have struggled to score. Jesper Bratt struggled to score. Dawson Mercer didn't. 20-year-old in the playoffs, he was one of their best players. 3 goals, 4 assists in 12 games. So this is a young player who's still maybe figuring it out. But we know the skill is there. You don't put up 56 points at 20 years old on accident. That's not something where, it's just a fluke. Maybe is he only a 50-point player? Possibly. But that's okay. That works. If he can just fit that second line center position for right now, you're in a good spot. I don't think you're looking for anything over the top. I mean, just right now, you need somebody to take faceoffs off Nico Hischier. You need to take some type of that scoring punch that Nico Hischier has. You have to settle it down a little bit. Get some other guys involved. Right now, Nico Hischier leads the league in faceoffs. He's taking basically 50% of the faceoffs per night. You don't really want that going forward. Not that he's, obviously we know Nico Hischier is good in the dot, but it's not really ideal to have your one center taking 50% plus faceoffs a night. You need somebody else who can take that off his back a little bit. And who do you go to? It's Dawson Mercer. That's who you want to go to. That's who you should go to. It's really the only option you have. Because bringing up, the centers again, like I said, nobody here is a second line center. I mean, Paul Cotter's really good in his role. Kurtis Lazar, I think, has been a really good player since the Devils have brought him over. Great penalty killer. These guys they don't have the skill set to be a second line center. They're great in their roles. They are great third, fourth line centers. I think that maybe some of the more underrated players on the team. But when you look for a second line center, you got to go with the guy who has the skill set. Dawson Mercer has proved it before. Dawson Mercer has a skill set. Dawson Mercer has a resume. Dawson Mercer has the new contract. That's who you have to go with. On more good news, though, I guess we can call it that. More good news, Kurtis Lazar in the lineup tonight. Definitely good for the Devils. I think Kurtis Lazar, I'd love to see the Devils extend Kurtis Lazar. Great penalty killer, great fourth line center. I think it seems like a lot of the team really likes him as well. So would love to extend Kurtis Lazar and get him back with the Devils next season. But so Dawson Mercer, like I said, maybe struggled this season, can turn it all around in these final 10 games. Sometimes when you get the ending, that's all you really remember. Dawson Mercer can do that. Final 10 games, he's going to get another shot to be second-line center. I assume he's the second-line center for tonight's game. We'll have to wait and see. There's nothing confirmed. But Dawson Mercer going to get a shot. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who the Devils should go with as their second-line center. And we'll see down the stretch. All right, I'll see you guys. Hopefully you guys all subscribed. I'll see you.